parents who have joined us at this function, and my young friends. The outgoing class 10 students, I think, have had enough of their goals telling them that this is the last day at school and they're moving out. But then this is your day, a day to enjoy and cherish throughout your lives, because school life is never going to come back unless you become a teacher. And if you want to remain young, my advice is become a teacher. Because you go through the welcomes and the freshers and the farewells each year, so you remain where you are now throughout your lives. That apart, like taking it forward from where your lecture was left, let me also give you a glimpse of what is in store for the future, what is expected of you, and what would you expect of your future. And the first thing that will happen when you get in from school to a plus 2 or junior colleges, the methodology of teaching that you have been accustomed to, probably right from your LKG to class 10, is going to change. Yes, there is going to be some freedom. Probably your parents may not pressurize you to study as they are doing now as much. But then this freedom comes with a responsibility. Because you are now expected to learn a lot more by yourself than being taught by a teacher. This happens everywhere across the globe. It happens in every human life. Because as far as reading and writing is concerned, you already know the language, you are able to speak, you are able to read, you are able to write. And you have also been taught the basics of whatever is going to remain important in your life, whether it is mathematics, whether it is physics, whether it is the languages, whether it is social studies. And what you do from now on is you keep advancing in these areas and then pick up an area of your choice as you move forward in which you want to make a career. So teaching you how to read and how to write is already done at the school level. From here onwards, after your school, the teachers, would become lecturers. And the basic or the primary duty of a lecturer is to guide you to move forward. It is not hand-over. And this happens with every phase in a human life. Because a newborn generally is sleeping for most part of the day and night. Then as the growth starts in the baby, you find the baby indulging in exercise every moment the baby is awake. It's moving their limbs, their hands and feet. From there, as the baby keeps growing up, learns to crawl, learns to walk, and that's how the growth phase is. Probably no parent teaches, a few months old baby to keep exercising every moment that he or she is awake, because that is what it takes to build the muscles and ensure that the limbs are working throughout your life. That is the very base, the very foundation. And it is like this that you've been taught at school, and from here it depends on how much exercise you indulge in to strengthen yourself. And education doesn't mean reading and writing. Education, if it does not teach a human being on how to live right, then education has no meaning. Each one of you must realize that there are a lot of things that you need in life. Some in small quantities, some probably in larger quantities. But then anything excessive is always dangerous. For us to live, breathing is a must. When we breathe in, oxygen is circulated into the blood and carbon dioxide is thrown out. Instead of the normal air, if you are only given oxygen to breathe, no human being will survive. Though we say the other gases are waste, the carbon dioxide is not useful for the human body, still it exists, it has its own work. Similarly, each one of us are a part of this society, a part of humankind. And for us to leave a better world for the posterity, we must definitely do what is required for each one of us, however small it may be. In fact, I am reminded of a grandmother's story which is very famous in the African region. This is a story that is passed on from generation to generation by grandparents to their grandchildren. This story is in a part of Africa. There was a very big forest, huge forest, where countless number of animals, birds, and other beings lived there. It so happened one day that this forest caught fire. And it started spreading. And the animals in the surrounding area started running away from the place where the forest caught fire. There are lions, there are tigers, there are cheetahs, there are hyenas, deers, all sorts of animals. And there were also birds that were flying away from the place of fire. As the animals kept moving away from the fire, a lion noticed that a hummingbird, I'm sure you would have heard of what hummingbirds are, very small birds, but more than 100 different species of hummingbirds that exist. The smallest one is about 2 inches in size and weighs less than 2 grams. And the biggest of the hummingbirds ever known is about 20 inches or 21 inches and weighs about 18 to 24 grams. A small hummingbird, the lion noticed that it was going in the opposite direction. After some time, it was coming back and then it was again going back in that same direction towards the fire. Initially the lion thought, being such a small bird, it probably got confused, and instead of going away from the danger, it's probably being drawn towards the danger. As the hummingbird was returning, the lion stopped and asked him, don't get panicky, you follow. I see that you are just moving to and fro, going away from the danger and coming towards the danger. So you follow me, I will guide you to safety. The hummingbird said, I am not confused. I am doing my duty. The lion was surprised. And I asked, what duty are you doing? Because this forest has been our home for generations. This is the place where we live. This is the place that sustained us. Now that it is on fire, I am flying to a water body, picking up water in my feet and trying to douse the fire. Then the lion started thinking that being the so-called king of the animals, I am running away from danger, and here is this minuscule looking living being which is trying to douse such a huge forest fire. Then the lion had the word spread to all the other animals that let's try and douse the fire instead of running away from it. And that is why the guardian spirits of the forest, because mythology is clear that each living being, whether it is human or otherwise, has a guiding spirit, which tries and guides the living being onto the right path, and this spirit has supernatural powers. That's what mythology says. So the forest had also a guiding spirit or fairy who heard the conversation and then saw what the animals were trying to do. And said, I also have my duty to do and ensure that there was a torrential rain which doused the fire. This might be mythology, this might seem illogical, but then the learning from this that each one of us has to make is, however minuscule that we are, however small that we feel that we are when facing a problem, if we do not start doing what should be done on our part, the problem is always going to grow bigger. And once you start doing what you are supposed to do, then you will find that there are scores and scores of others, and the number keeps growing who would also do the same. These days, in fact, probably for decades together, every one of us, in fact, even we when we were students, and probably our parents when they were students, and probably our grandparents when they were at your age, all of us have only been saying that there is corruption in this country and it is growing day by day. And these days we say money power is probably a far greater than the Creator himself. We have all been saying this for generations, and the problem has been going bigger and bigger. Probably if your generation starts in the right direction and says, let me try and stop this corruption at my level, you will find more and more people joining you, and you will definitely find that it seems corruption. It is not just corruption, but anything that is beneficial to mankind anything that is beneficial to the nature. We talk of conserving water. We talk of protecting the environment. But talking is not going to take us anywhere unless we start doing what we talk. This is going to remain unchanged in any facet or any phase of your lives or any facet of the society itself. Apart from your honing your skills of reading and writing, what we want you to take out of SPS when you leave at the end of your class 10 is a very strong resolve to start doing and not just talk. And this is applicable in your studies, it's applicable in the way you behave, it's applicable in the way you speak. In fact, my advice would be, you speak in a way in which you want others to speak to you. You behave with others in a manner in which you want others to behave with you. You respect your parents, your elders, you obey them in a way probably you want your children or your grandchildren. And then you will understand and realize how much are your parents or your elders in the society are getting hurt with the way that your generation is now behaving. Very probably, and then again, it's definitely not your fault, it's the fault of the society that we are living in, the kind of gadgets that we are using, the kind of information that is available now. Plus, the mindset of your generation, probably even one generation earlier, that because you have information on your fingertips, you do not need anyone to guide you. You need not obey anybody. You need not respect anybody, because either you know everything or you have Google with you, which can tell you anything and everything about whatever you want. But then if you put your phones aside and think for a while, what all you are asking Google, where did it come from? It has come, the information that Google has been fed into it because of the experience that our ancestors have had, because of the research that our ancestors have done, because of the hardships that our ancestors had to undergo, and also had this kind heart to ensure that what all hardships they have undergone when they behaved in a particular way or chose a particular path, they were wanting to and able to record all that, and that is what is now we call information. So information is not created by you. Information is something that is already existing. Google gets it, or any other such software gets it under one roof and is able to give you that specific information at a time faster than probably a human being can. So if you want to believe or have more faith in something inanimate than your parents, your teachers, the elders in society, then at one stage or the other in your life, you are definitely going to fall into a pit from where it will be difficult to come out. Whereas if you are to follow your parents, if you are to follow the elders in the society, even if they are not able to predict when you are going to fall in that pit, they will definitely be able to tell you, in case you fall in a pit, how do you come out of it. You know, storehouse of wealth, of experience, right in our homes, right in our society. And we ignore that, we heard that, and look at something which depend upon something which is inanimate. Because these inanimate things can probably only give you information, but they can never ever comfort you if you are hurt. Whatever so-called progress that we are making, irrespective of everything, we still need parents to be born, we still need parents to survive, we still need parents to a stage where we can stand on our legs. But then what we are doing now is, the moment we stand on our legs, we forget our parents. Because human life actually is a circle. It goes about in a circle. If you keenly observe, the state of a human being at birth, growth, toddler, adolescent, into middle ages, once come into your old ages, you come back to the stage at where you were born. Where, people who lived really long have had their teeth falling out and teeth growing again, hair regrowing, as it happens in a child. So this is where it comes in. What we are forgetting is, by the time we reach the age where we can stand on our own legs, our parents would have reached an age where we were probably about 20, 30, 40 years old, where we needed somebody's help to stand up, somebody's help to walk, somebody to teach us, somebody to feed us. That's the stage where your parents will go by the time you stand on your own legs. And if you forget that, then abandoning your parents, I think no such person has a right to be called a human being. And this is the learning that we want you to take from SPS when you leave. That you are not just a student, but you are a human being who needs to grow and who also has his or her responsibilities to discharge. And not just this, we would also want you to pass it on to the next generation. Pass it on to your younger siblings, pass it on to your children, pass it on to your grandchildren. And that is when you would have got what education means in its right sense, and that would be the day when SPS would feel fulfilled, that the purpose of its coming into being is achieved. Wishing you a very happy life ahead and all the best. Thank you.